So it's like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I think it is important, like kids maybe kind of crave if they haven't been talked to about the like importance of sex and like the holiness and the like
Yeah.
sacredness of that,
Yeah.
like that they kind of maybe are like just the fact that you said something to them about why you don't want them listening to the radio station probably fed that need to like be like you're valued and like it's like sex is a good thing, but like
Yeah.
it's that is twisting it, and that's
Yeah.
why you want to
Yeah.
protect what's special.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was talking to my son about it, because we were talking about that Facebook group about why the Christians are ruining YWAM high school. This kid that started the group actually said he's Catholic, and he says, he said, yeah, I know, I'm Catholic, I know I'm going to hell, but I just kind of decided that I want right now. I just need to live my life, and I just need to do what I want to do. And you see, there's so many kids that feel like, this is in their own words, they feel like religion's been shoved down their throat, and that parents have told them that they have to do this and they have to do that, but that the parents have never really explained why. And so kids don't feel like they have any ownership on it, And so I think that the problem is too, is that a lot of times in the way that we're raising our kids, we're just telling them, you have to do this, and you have to do this, and these are my expectations for you, but we're not really explaining to them the reason behind what we're saying, so they don't feel like they have any personal connection to it, and that's why they reject it. Yeah.
I don't think, well, some parents, they probably explaining why, but some of them probably not, also they're not living it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they're not living it, and that's what kids learn from by visual, and what their parents are doing, that's what they gonna do. Because you can talk to me all day and tell me this and that, but if you're actually not doing it, then I'm not listening to you because you being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do what I do, and that's how I think that's how they see it.
Yeah.
Because just like going back to the church community and stuff like that, if we can tell them all day that, okay, Jesus is the way and this is why you're supposed to live and serve Jesus and allow Jesus to come into your life. But when they go back home to their families, it's totally different than what we're telling them. And they're going to go by what they see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why a lot of times it's not really effective.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Or when they see, they hear us say something about how Christ loved, and then as soon as they see us walking down the street, somebody cut us off, and we drive, somebody cut us off, we quick to cuss them out and give them a finger. You know what I'm saying? To catch an attitude with them. It's like, okay, well, if that's how the church folks is acting, I might as well stay where I'm at.
Yeah, right.
Okay, here's the last one, and then we'll take a break here. So the last part of individualism is the idea that the chief purpose of society is the promotion of individual welfare, and that the chief end of moral law is the development of individual character. So once again, that what we have said as a nation, we've said that we as America, we as a nation, we want to do what's best for the individual people in our country, and that morality, right and wrong, really ultimately is about developing individual character. So the good side of this is, if you look at Americans, we're the leaders. I mean, the world recognizes that we are the leading nation of the world. I mean, and I'm not just saying this to brag, but we're all Americans, so we can kind of brag. But it's like we are the best at a lot of things. Oh, Lucio, but you're an American, yeah. So we'll keep going. But we always win the most gold medals at the Summer Olympics. We always win the most gold medals at the Winter Olympics. We always have the best basketball teams, and the best baseball teams, and the best football team. We don't have the best soccer teams. Second best soccer. We're getting there in soccer. But it's like, we always have the most Nobel Prize winning scientists. We always have the best universities. We always have the richest countries. And so in a sense, our individualism has been good in the development of leaders. And so, we're a society of strong individuals. We're pioneers, we're leaders, we're innovators. Values in American culture is that we do things ourselves. We get things done without waiting for other people to do them for us. We are not a dependent nation. We never say, oh, well, things could be so much better, except, Costa Rica has really wrecked everything for us, You never hear that in America. But go to other countries, go to Venezuela, oh man, things would be so good here, except, you know what they call the United States and Venezuela? They call us the evil empire, you know? This would be such a great country if it wasn't for the United States. Cuba is the same thing. Lucio and I saw this. They have billboards all over the country, big billboards on the highways talking about how America has wrecked their country, you know? North Korea does the same thing. America has wrecked us. See, we never, as a nation, have thought that our destiny was in the hands of somebody else. We've always realized that our future is in our own hands. And we don't blame anybody. We don't look to anybody. We as a nation are people of individuals. We can do it ourselves. We can make it happen ourselves, and we're going to do it ourselves. So there's a very good part of that in our culture, okay? But the downside of it is that when the primary goal of society is individual welfare and individual character, the tendency is to feel that the job is done, quote unquote, when you as an individual have obtained the things that you need. So what I'm saying is, I've got a nice job, I've got a nice car, my family's doing great, I'm stable, everything's great for me, so I've achieved the American dream. Well, okay, I've made it, don't have to really worry about anybody else. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the same way, you know, like, at least like in Mexico, Latin America, and many other countries, like they look at you like an example.
Yeah.
And the same problem that you have, you know, that you have right now, we are like a 5 or 10 years behind.
Yeah.
So everything that
It's
is
gonna happen
occurred
there, too.
is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
timing
Yeah.
that we wanna get into those kind of problems that
Yeah.
you say, oh, never occurred this in
Yeah.
Mexico anymore, just the
Yeah.
States. But now they occur,
It's
right?
going
Because
on.
we are
Yeah.
behind you like a 5, 10
Yeah.
years. And
So
then,
let me, I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
So let me talk politics. This will perk you guys up a little bit before we. Okay, so you know I'm a Republican, and the basic idea, the traditional idea of the Republican Party is that keep the government small. Okay, we don't want government taking care of us. We don't need government to take care of us when we're old, and we don't want government to take care of us when we're young, and we don't need government to find us jobs, and we don't need government to do our health care, and we don't need government to manage everything. Let the people take responsibility for their own lives, okay? That's the Republican way, okay? Now, that works if people care about each other, okay? That if you have a society where people are prospering and people are healthy, and then when they attain that level of prosperity and health and stability, they look to the others who don't have that and reach out and help them, then yeah, you don't need the government to do it. Okay, you can have a small government because people take responsibility for the other people in their society that have needs. What's happening, I think, and this is just my political commentary, is that we didn't do that. Okay, we made lots of money, we got ourselves the nice houses, we got ourselves the cars, and then once we obtained everything that we wanted for ourselves, we were like, oh, well, you mean there's people that, you know, don't have health insurance? Oh, well, that's too bad. You know, oh, you mean there's people that don't have jobs? Oh, that's too bad. And oh, you mean there's schools down there that, you know, that are falling apart? Oh, that's too bad. But, you know, that's not my concern. And so we kind of became very selfish, and therefore, I think what's going on right now in our country is that when we as communities don't take care of each other, well then there's really nobody else but the government that has to step in and start providing some of these needs. And so I think that as a Republican, you know, we can't sit here and complain about, well, the government's getting so big, and the government's supposed to do what we're supposed to do. We can't really complain about that because we had our chance to start taking care of people, and we didn't do it. So now we're all mad that the government is trying to do it, you know. Now, my theory on it is, and I'm just going to really go out on a limb, I don't think the government's going to be successful at doing it. And I think it ultimately is going to come back to we have to take responsibility.
And the church should have been
Okay.
doing it all in
The
the first
church
place.
has to take responsibility. You know what I'm saying? It's the same kind of thing that it's just like, you know, the government can't change people's hearts. And the only way that our society is really going to improve is when people's hearts are changed. And so that's why I do think that the church has to take leadership, you know? But the point of it is that you guys, our country